A strong wind swept through several states in the United States, causing at least one death and spawning possible tornadoes. Thousands of homes and businesses were left without power. In southern Ohio, as winds raged and hail came down, residents were terrified.
Oh, dear Lord. I thought we were going to die. We're fine, though. We're fine. Oh, dear God, this is bad. It was definitely a tornado. I think it might have just missed us by... Oh, dear Lord. I thought we were going to die. We're fine, though. We're fine. Oh, dear God, this is bad. It was definitely a tornado. I think it might have just missed us by a few feet. I think the way the hail was coming in.
In West Virginia, about 140,000 customers were without electricity. Earlier, the National Weather Service of Charleston, West Virginia, had issued a tornado warning for the mid-Ohio Valley. One of the hardest hit areas was northeastern Oklahoma, where a strong weather system containing heavy rains produced 3 suspected tornadoes. The police said the storms caused the death of a 46-year-old homeless woman in Tulsa who died inside a drainage pipe. Several storms also caused damage to trees and buildings in southern Illinois and Indiana. According to reports, several businesses suffered heavy damage in Williamson County. Several homes were seriously damaged with debris scattered through yards in parts of southern Indiana. Several local school districts had to cancel days' classes. More than 18,000 homes and businesses were left without power. A flash flood in the Ecuadorian capital of Quito has killed at least one. The Ecuadorian National Police said all of Quito's first responders and police officers were called to the streets to deal with the emergency. Specialized teams are also investigating a possible second death. The police reported that 16 children were evacuated from inside a kindergarten located in the affected area, where rain continued unabated. City workers were tasked with cleaning the streets, while main avenues across Quito remained blocked for much of the day.
Y hay efectos en los cuales nos convocó a todas las unidades de emergencia.
Due to the effects of the weather conditions, all the emergency units in Quito Metropolitan District were required. The Ecuadorian National Police brought 125 police officers from special operations who are dedicated to rescue and assistance for those in need. Unfortunately, we have to report the death of one person and another is still to be confirmed. Specialized units are in the sector.
Segunda estaría por confirmarse. De hecho, las unidades.
Now, this is not a lone incident. Flash flooding in January of 2022 had left 28 people dead in Quito. Residents say that event should have prompted authorities to take steps to prevent future floods.
...60% menor que el anterior de hace 2 años.
The rain is now somehow 60% less than the previous year or two. Still, it's a flash flood and should have been prevented by the municipal authorities. Personally, I think the authorities have already shown the extent of their incompetence. I think I should be hard because we had another flash flood less than 2 years ago, and authorities should have done their job. We, the citizens, have entrusted them to do. They should work for the city.
Trabajen por la ciudad.
Well, the world-famous Menton lemon from France is facing an uncertain future. It only has a small number of producers, and the warming climate is threatening its existence. According to a 6th-generation lemon grower in Menton region of France, the annual production is decreasing gradually. He recalls that his father used to collect 1.5 tons of lemons every 20 days. But now the region's annual production is only about 200 tons.
The valleys of Mentone were covered in lemon groves. There were lemon trees everywhere. Today the land is sold to developers and all you see are buildings. Just buildings everywhere on either side of the street, from left to right. There are a couple lemon hills like mine, but there is practically no land left. A young person today would not be able to live from lemon farming. It's not possible anymore.
Mentone, which was once a leading lemon growing region in Europe, is now witnessing several lemon growers moving into different professions as they break their family tradition to find employment somewhere else.
Without the geographical indication status, we would be left with a very constraining natural territory that presents very high production costs, making it impossible to generate a viable business here.
Now, what makes the Mentone lemon special is the mild climate of the region in France. The protective mountain range, proximity to the sea, and the steady sunshine with moderate rain during winter months. The sandstone-rich soil gives the lemon its distinct flavor. Well, as the winter season slowly loosens its grip on the Kashmir Valley, the gates of Asia's largest tulip garden, located between the Dal Lake and the Zabarwan Hills, are thrown open to visitors. Here they are welcomed by the sight of 73 varieties of tulips at this garden. Take a look at this report sent by our correspondent Idris Lone. And that's all that we have for you on Climate Tracker today, but we will be back with a lot of global news and updates. A heavenly sight of 1.7 million flowers in full bloom in Asia's largest tulip garden. Every year, thousands of domestic and foreign tourists visit Srinagar for a glimpse after the Tulip Festival. Unpredictable weather in the valley made the tulip blooming season exceptionally short at just 15 to 20 days this year. But tourists are making the most of it. Last year, the tulip garden saw a record number of 370,000 visitors. But this time, the government expects all previous records to be broken.
We experienced overwhelming response of the tourists, and the total count almost crossed 1.5, and this is a record-breaking tourist footfall, and we are hopeful in the coming days that this year will be a fantastic and a record-breaking in terms of tourist attendance for the whole valley. Our department is always committed to add something new every year. Every year our department adds new varieties of tulips, daffodils and hyacinths. And this year we have added 5 new varieties of tulips. We are hopeful and we are confident, in fact, enough that the local rush will increase after Eid, and it will be a huge tourist footfall that will be experienced this year.
For more tourists flocking to it during the spring season, the government opened the garden earlier this year. It used to be open during the first week of April. This year, the tourists were welcomed from March 23rd itself.
बहुत ही सुंदर है, बहुत ही beautiful है.
It's very beautiful. The weather is perfect. The tulip garden was a dream to see, and it's really amazing. We have seen this Silsila movie song between Rekha and Amitabh in a tulip garden, and it's exactly like the same. I would go back and recommend to everyone to go to Kashmir and see the garden.
It takes the team of over 150 gardeners and other staff 6 months of work round the clock to get the garden ready for the public.
It's beautiful, yes. It's very much like Amsterdam. I've been to Amsterdam and see the tulips there, but this is beautiful. We have been traveling around India for 4 months, and this is our last place before we go back home. So it's beautiful here. We've been here, we came yesterday, so this is our first full day here today.
Srinagar's tulip garden will be open to the public for the entire month of April.
In the very first 10 days of the opening of Asia's largest tulip garden in the Kashmir Valley, over 1.5 lakh tourists have already visited the garden. The Floriculture Department says that all the previous records of tourist footfall would be broken this year. With video journalist Feroz Idris Lone for WION World is One.